thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible, and because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was
I hate putting Mary Kelly on the back burner while she continues to destroy lives with those microchips, but for now, we've no choice.
Then perhaps it's time to have a closer look at the elephant in the room. Nigel Cass, billionaire warmonger and current CEO of our local horde of thugs, Albion PMC.
Cass certainly profited most from the bombings. We can inspire London to resist from now till forever, but it still won't break Albion's grip on the city. Not with Cass at the top.
Jesus. You want to confront the head of a private military company that's paid off by the government? What are you going to do? Just knock on his front door?
Bagley's come across a possible gap in Cass's armor. An ex-insider, ex-friend with an axe to grind. He'd be an asset if we can find and convince him to work with us. Come to the safe house. We'll talk it through.
They would call it disinformation. That's disinformation. That's fake news. And again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your message.
AI giant Broker Tech announced today that they are canceling Daybreak, the neural mapping technology designed to allow people to live forever. A spokesperson for the company told press the decision to shutter the project was made out of respect for the memory of their founder, the late Sky Larson. What the company has in store following the death of their illustrious leader remains to be seen.
Right, let's talk about Albion PMC, the only British organisation to successfully oppress more of the developing world than the British government. Led by Nigel Cass, a man the partisan media calls a charismatic visionary, and Amnesty International calls a war criminal. Albion was given the key to the city to re-establish order following the bombings.
Well, that's suspiciously convenient.
It is. So that's two reasons why we need to find an angle on Cass.
We've found one. His name, Hamish Balaji. Born in London, Balaji was a recipient of the Cass Foundation Technical Scholarship at 14, which included a mentorship with Cass himself. At 16, Balaji designed Cass's first drone fleet. Fun fact, Cass delayed the launch by a week so it would land on Balaji's birthday.
Cass sounds like Balaji's second dad. Why would he help us?
They had a falling out after an incident in the Niger Delta 3 years ago. A buried human rights investigation accuses Cass of ordering a drone fleet to wipe out a village protesting the construction of a pipeline, but the drones malfunctioned before they could. Balaji is named as the likely saboteur. He's been on the run ever since, but now tracking data shows he's reappeared in London.
Shit, he's looking for redemption like with the protesters. This guy designed Cass's drone fleet. I think he's trying to disarm Albion.
He covers his tracks well, but that's a good guess. Unfortunately, according to this Albion intelligence report intercepted by our friend Caitlin Lau, Cass knows Balaji's in London as well. So, that's the op. Make contact with Balaji before Albion finds him. Then convince him we have a mutual enemy in Cass.
So this guy's our best chance to stop Albion and clear our names. And the largest private army on Earth wants him dead. No pressure.
It took some doing, but I've narrowed down the area where we're most likely to find Hamish Balaji. I've pushed the coordinates to your optic.
How are you doing? I hope you don't mind me getting situated in your safe house. Crime marches on, and so will I. There are still cases that need to be closed, if you'll help me.
Copy that.
Excellent. I uploaded a case to Bagley. He can brief you on it.
Surprise, you twat. Between my work with 404 and tracking down Sky Larson's neural map nightmares, I thought I could do with a new workspace. I could do with your help as well. I just clocked a hit and run by a black cab. Happened a while ago, but the news ain't picking up on it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because all of London's black cabs are driverless, run by AI.
Yeah.
Can Kelly's been sending a ton of crypto to an unknown party in Cairo. Something to do with Kronos X.
I believe I've heard of that. Some new dark web party drug, no?
It's a highly addictive psychotropic with a stack.
Talking about someone fucking dressed like a bee, man. Not like a giant bee, but like a beekeeper.
Are on high alert.
Bees and everything.
Pedestrians may be held suspect.
What is going on? Fuck you. This beekeeper is real. He's like some bad guy.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from his corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of his former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling or keep you listening or keep you looking for more information. The second is that
Malaji has been snooping into Albion's affairs. Quietly, of course, but I've been able to determine that most of his activity stems from this area.
Time to introduce ourselves.
Not so fast. Hamish isn't in, according to his home security. And before you get ideas, he's rigged his front door to a series of traps designed to delete all of his data and then your life. Not necessarily in that order.
Got a similar setup myself. Maybe paranoid, but...
To be fair, you are an armed insurgent trying to break into his flat. Anyway, you should be able to connect to the local grid and use security cameras to disarm his traps.
Acknowledged. Look at this. The place is packed to the gills with traps.
You could force the traps to unlock by rewiring the power.
Copy that.
Welcome to Claire and Present Danger, and welcome to Fascist London. Don't let that boot on the back of your neck disturb you. In time, you'll barely feel it. We have to wake up people. If there was a playbook for setting up a totalitarian police state, Albion would be most of the way through it and working on the epilogue. They certainly took advantage of the fallout from the bombings, didn't they? Preyed on the fears of the city government too. They were only too happy to hand Nigel Cass the keys to the city. Wash their hands to the whole mess. The collar will only get tighter now, friends, unless we do something. We can't wait for someone else to fight back. We are the change.
The traps are disarmed. Now, if you go through the front door of the flat, it's much less likely you'll be killed.
Move! One more muscle chief and I'll blow the whole place with you in it.
Now, no need for that.
Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Wrong. Think more insurgent.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You done?
Listen to me! Albion knows you're in London. You need to get out of here, now!
Fuck me. You're telling the truth, aren't you? Fucking hell, thought I was careful. Fucking idiot, Amish! Look, Cass is worse than you know.
Worse than we know. We know! We know! Why else do you think I'd fucking be here?
Maybe, because Nigel Cass is paying you. That's how fucking mercs work.
We're not with Cass! He fucking tried to kill us, mate! We need to stop him, and we need your help to do it!
Mate, you don't know shit! You have no idea what Cass is and what...
Move!
Fuck! An Albion squad's closing in on you. Guess you weren't lying about that part. Fuck, think. Shit, fine. We'll table it. I'll buy you some time. Just go. No!
Move it!
Fuck's sake!
Don't just stand there. Albion won't be fussy about who they shoot.
Fucking hell.
Been inbound to hostile.
Why'd it go dead? Bagley?
Sadly, that operative has gone on to the big safe house in the sky. I think all that excitement convinced our new friend Hamish that we need to work together to tackle Cass. He's willing to cooperate.
All right, Chief. That was a pretty slick escape. I believe you. So I'll say this. Nigel is planning something, and I don't think I could... stop him on my own. If DedSec's everything I've heard, you'll help me.
We can help each other.
Sod off, I didn't mean to.
There's a chance Cass had something to do with the bombings. What could he be planning that's worse than that?
No, that's not like him. Well, not exactly. See, Nigel's got to see himself as the hero. He's an arrogant twat, but he's not a cynic. Every place we go into, we would have some mad plan to fix all his problems. With robot police or automated crop fertilizing or some shit. Society was a technical problem. And people are just bugs in the software, you know? You work around them or you squash them. Sorry, Chief. I've got to switch proxy servers so they don't trace me. I'll hit you right back on voice. Listen, I've got an inside man, right? A contact in Albion. Says Nigel's got this big meeting happening at White Tower. He'll be talking about a major project he's got planned for London.
Working on an upgrade of his private police state? Brilliant. Does this prick ever take a day off? Whatever he's up to, we need eyes on that meeting.
I've always wanted to be in on a caper. Okay, first things first. We'll need eyes on the impregnable target, so off you go. I'll crack on with assembling the right personnel to round out this ragtag bunch of misfits.
Ah, shit. Albion cybersecurity sniffing my proxy IP. Must have traced the detonator signal. I've got to deal with this.
Into the lion's den. Fine. So, ultra-tight security, right?
I like to help, fam, but Nigel's caught a whiff now. With all the CTOS cameras, it'd take him less than 5 to ID me. I ain't risking my pretty face.
We need an Albion insider for our caper, one who's willing to turn coat. I've reached out to a contact who works in a nearby pub. Where better to find a bleakly disillusioned anti-hero numbing their conscience with drink, but secretly desperate for redemption. I've let our contact know what we're in the market for, and she's nearby. Seems that manky little nerd was the one who kept diverting relief supplies away from the borough to keep everyone in line for Albion. These days you can do a lot more evil with a spreadsheet than a drone fleet.
Fucking great.
ETA on the street.
You alright?
You lot certainly know how to pick your targets. You do know that Albion have set up their headquarters in there, right?
Yeah. No. I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't want to think about it. Besides, we've no choice. Nigel Cass is meeting with a bunch of toffs about a new Albion project. You know that's going to be a fucking cock-up for everyone, right?
Fucking Nigel Cass. You're right. Nothing good can come of this. Luckily, I hear loads of sob stories working in our pub. And near this place, quite a few from Albion are dissatisfied with the status quo. You turn on the charm, and I'm sure you can get one to join the good guys. Even got a candidate in mind.
Huh. Interesting. Can you send me that personal info?
I'll have Bagley push it along. Good luck, love.
We're aware of an Albion employee who might be approachable.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about revealing ourselves to some Albion boot. Liquor?
They're jackbooted thugs who regularly murder civilians. If finding a disenchanted employee is really that difficult, humanity's much worse off than I thought. It would also be quite useful to have someone on the inside.
For however long that lasts, Nigel's real good at sniffing out spies.
Personal experience speaking?
Yeah, not really in a sharing mood right now, fam.
City's gone to pot, hasn't it? Interested in maybe changing things for the better?
Are you with DedTech? Because I could use your assistance.
I mean, can't guarantee anything, but we'll try. What's up?
My friend has a rare medical condition. Unfortunately, with the NHS in disarray, they haven't been able to get treatment in months. We were out of options until this Clan Kelly doctor said they'd help for a price. I didn't know what else to do, so I paid them.
Go on.
That bastard. The drugs worked, but it turned out they were addictive. The second my friend was hooked, the doctor inflated the price.
This doc's an absolute dickhead. Don't sweat it. We'll get your mate the drugs they need.
Well, this quote-unquote doctor is a real winner. He was struck off the medical register for gross malpractice last year, and now he's a freelance mob surgeon. Nice work if you can get it.
All right. I think now's your cue to track him down, Bags.
I am quite literally always tracking everyone down. Pushing you his coordinates now.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasting built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling or keep you listening or keep you looking for more information. The second is that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines and more sensational stories, and it didn't matter whether they were true or not. It just kept people in.
The Clan Kelly doctor you're looking for is close by. And he's got a highly secure laptop with him too. That should contain the whereabouts of the drug shipment.
Or I changed my mind. Fuck me! How do you normally deal with that, dead set?
What the hell? Quiet. Did you hear? Got a casualty.
There's the laptop.
Shit! Body down! Hang on a sec. Wait! Listen! Stop now, and I might not kill ya.
Right, let's find this joker.
Bloody
Now! Ugh.
Keep looking.
I lost them.
Laptop scraped. Get to safety while I analyze the data. I found them at a warehouse where the experimental drugs are being stored. I'm sure Mary Kelly won't mind if you nick a few.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcasting has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure on its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our exit. This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcasting has been through a lot of changes since...
I'm detecting a vehicle nearby with at least 2 years' worth of treatments inside. That's more than enough to wean our contact's friend off the treatment.
Acknowledged.
There's the vehicle with the drugs in it. Try not to destroy it.
Got a creeper. Hang on a sec.
Got the vehicle. Now what?
I found a safe location where our friend can pick it up. Sending you the coordinates now.
the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice.
It's done. We're stashing the truck with the treatments in a safe location. Our AI Bagley will send you the deets. Your friends will be good now.
Anyway, I owe you a favour now.
I know this can sound crazy and all, but I think you fit right in with DedSec. Yeah?
Fine. I'm in.
Nice to welcome another tough nut to the crew. Strength and unity, right?
Yes, well, I'm ready to help however I can.
Fuck yeah.
We have an Albion operative on our roster. We should let them know they're needed. Nigel Cass's meeting will begin soon. Approach the Tower of London when you're ready.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep scrolling.
If we're lucky, word hasn't spread that you've hung up your jackboots. Just try to put on your meek, harmless, broken by the system face. Oh, and don't forget your uniform.
Right. Resuming my normal duties.
Who's that? Your junk crook?
Looking sharp. Your ex-colleagues won't pay any attention to you unless you let them take a close look.
I don't know you.
Stop resisting!
Cloaking.
What is this? Son of a bitch!
A word of caution now we're inside. Any disturbance in here and Nigel Cass will surely cancel his meeting. Avoid being detected by your former colleagues or this operation is a bust.
Nigel won't have anything important on this floor.
You're quite knowledgeable about Cass, aren't you?
Yeah. I was Albion too, if you hadn't twigged to that. Me and Cass were close once. Looked up to him. He was bigger than life, fam. Literally a tech genius. And I was just a gearhead kid. I wanted to be like him. That's why I joined up.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Didn't find out he was a murderous prick until later.
They're down boots as people coming in. Like I haven't got enough to do. Dealing with construction.
Work faster. It's really
This door clearly requires a security pass.
Well, that's just great.
Use one of the nearby computers to create your forgery.
Be careful. You don't want to know what Nigel does with trespassers.
You been out there lately? There are some parts of this city that need a good working over with some heavy boots. You understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But there's always an element that's gonna resist order, right?
Sure, but I thought we'd taken care of them long ago.
You mean dead set? I've heard some talk on the street that they may be back in operation.
It'll take some time for the forgery to be ready. To keep you occupied, I dragged up still images and a recording from an internal investigation into Cass Senior's death.
Show me. Grand. They put someone incapable of processing their emotional baggage in charge of our security. Just grand.
Yeah, well, Nigel's never close to anyone but his dad. And me, I guess. Never had much faith in people, really.
Well, the pass is ready, but rough. If this resistance thing doesn't work out, I doubt you'll make a living as a document forger. Let's give it a go anyway. Nigel Cass awaits.
How's it going? Seemed a bit tense.
How are you getting on with those metrics? The deadline is coming up quickly. It wouldn't do to miss it. He's presenting to the stakeholders right now.
I know, but if I mess this up...
Welcome to Project Themis. Our new autonomous drones.
These drones can identify, isolate, and terminate threats before they can do harm. They can go anywhere, see everything. They could kill a man alone in an alley or in a crowd of hundreds with perfect precision. Themis drones can do what humans have always struggled to. Act immediately and decisively. Without your support, I couldn't stand here and tell you, I promise you, that with the launch of Project Themis, London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Mr. Cass, I was hoping you called us all in here today to discuss the ethical issues.
No, it's all right. The Commissioner cares, as we all do. I admire his passion and his dedication. Let's talk ethics.
Well, for one, Themis goes far beyond Albion's mandate. We really should have more government consultation.
I see. Delay the launch so that we can debate and assess the details.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defense Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must. It's the human element that got us into this. No more debate, delay, indecision. Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize Themis. Now, will our friends at Tidus be ready? You are the cornerstone of the project after all. Do you need to consult any outside parties?
No. We'll be ready.
And just in time. Criminals running our streets. Illegals threatening our families. The police commissioner himself. Assassinated by terrorists. Decisiveness is hard. But here's the best part. Once this decision is made, no more will be required of you.
A building-wide security sweep has been initiated due to document breach.
I warned you about that, forgery. Your uniform will help. Don't let them get a close look at you.
Bagley, I need an exit. Quickly!
The catacombs, fam.
Find the path.
Shit, I see a body.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Saw Nigel in action in there, didn't you? Man can be very, persuasive.
He knows how to get his way. And he wants this Themis project launched post-haste. I doubt that's good news for London.
Shite.
Shit. I don't like this at all. What was that?
Fucking hell. Albion's top secret project is an automated killing machine. And it looks like Cass is almost ready to launch. We have to get Themis out of his hands.
I'll prepare a briefing. Will we see you there, Hamish?
Pretty face, not risking, remember? But patch me in. You and me got some scheming to do, Bagley.
Nothing whatsoever.
I don't know why I was even worried. I'm getting quite good at being in DedSec, I think.
You wouldn't have been recruited if DedSec thought you'd be killed that easily.
Is that meant to be a compliment? Thanks if it is.
That's just how Bagley is, innit? You'll get used to him. Oh, and great work back there.